Fred Swanika, the founder of Africa Leadership University, and Wendy Luhabe, faculty member and social entrepreneur, earlier joined us here in our CNBC Africa studios to talk about the progress that the ALU is doing after recording a lot of research back and forth regarding MBA programs. Here's a look at that conversation as they continue to explore Rwanda's market.
We're building a network of universities across Africa.
Right.
To develop what we believe is Africa's greatest resource, which is our human capital. And we started first with an undergraduate program in Mauritius, and that is going on. And we've now launched a graduate program in the form of a Master's in Business Administration, an MBA program.
Right.
And we thought that there was a need for that because there is no Pan-African MBA program today that exists. There are some really good programs in Nigeria, in Kenya, in South Africa, for example, but they're very much training people for the local market. Right. And we believe that in Africa today, the real opportunities lie continent-wide. So we thought there was a need to have a Pan-African MBA program. We also thought there was a need to create a program that had a much stronger emphasis on leadership development. And finally, we wanted to really bring real African practitioners together. So we bring together an all-star cast of African CEOs. So this Friday, for example, Donald Kaberuka, the former president of the African Development Bank, will be teaching in the MBA program. Right. Wendy Luhabe has just finished 2 days with us, where she taught a case study about her and the company that she built to the students. So this is remarkable. There's no, when I went to Stanford Business School for my MBA, I did case studies about JetBlue and Amazon and so forth. I didn't do anything.
That are not applicable on the continent.
Exactly.
Right. All right, now, Mrs. Wendy Shloa, you come in, of course, on behalf of the faculty, and we're also incorporating the issue of virtual, and we're still having you come here. Just break down this particular program for us. Why exactly it will be more interesting than other schools of the same caliber that we've been seeing trying to set base on the African continent?
Well, firstly, it's a very experiential approach,
right,
which is developing what we refer to as an army of agents that are going to change the continent positively in our respective countries. And it's equipping people with the kinds of skills that they need to go and transform what needs to be transformed in their environments. Right. That will enable them to build institutions, that will enable them to build the economies of our respective countries so that we can begin to respond to the real challenges that we face in the continent. Right. Around employment opportunities, around entrepreneurial opportunities. So I like its practical nature. I like the fact that it is creating a culture and a movement that is enabling Africans to solve their own challenges.
Right. Just still back to that issue that I touched on regarding getting the right balance between virtual studies and on-ground studies.
Well, perhaps let me take that one. When we looked at designing this program, we found that middle managers today don't have time to leave work for 2 years.
Right.
There's a huge opportunity cost, and the companies lose their impact for such a long time. So we designed a program such that it's a blend between online and in-person. And these business leaders come to Rwanda every 4 months for a 1-week experience where they learn about doing business in Africa from people like Wendy.
Right.
And we also develop their leadership skills. And then when they go home, between for the next 4 months, they take virtual classes from Harvard Business School, from Wharton Business School, and from McKinsey, and also from content that we have created. But they also meet each other in their home cities, and they work in peer groups to continue the in-person experience. So through that, you're able to learn something today and apply it at work tomorrow. And that immediate impact is what employers are looking for and what the leaders going through the program can actually expect to see.
Well, now you mentioned 3 schools, Harvard, Wharton, and Stanford. Now, a lot of students try to... And McKinsey as well. McKinsey as well.
Not Stanford, no, McKinsey.
All right, McKinsey. So we're seeing a lot of students, when they go finish their A-level here, or when they finish their Form 4, they try to get into schools internationally, and they have to cough up about $50,000 upwards, or a lot more to finish a whole program. program. But now we're seeing that you're giving them at a fraction of the cost, but a lot of people still question the issue of quality. What would we react to, how would we react to this particular issue?
No, I think I should let
right.
the founder, the visionary, to respond to that question.
To get us through the math.
I mean, for me, I think, let me just make the comment that what's exciting about what the African Leadership University is offering is a program, an MBA program of a global quality at a fraction of the price, which makes it affordable, which means that we'll be able to create much greater access to a quality of education that prepares a critical mass of leaders that the continent needs to transform itself.
All right, and without also the hassle of waiting in line
so let me get in. So what, in my experience, what makes great institutions, what creates high quality are three things: great students, great faculty, and great curriculum. Mm-hmm. Now, what we have done is bring those three things together. Right. The great faculty are people like Wendy, and Donald Kaberuka, and Caesar Ngasana, and all these great African CEOs who have built very successful enterprises on the continent, who come and share their real stories and real experiences of doing this on the continent. There's no other school in Africa, in the world, that is doing that. The second thing is on the curriculum side. We have partnered with the world's best. Mm-hmm. We've partnered with Harvard when we're using their curriculum. We're using the Wharton curriculum. We're using, McKinsey, and we have also created our own. Now, when I went to Stanford, I took 20 classes over the 2 years. But I can tell you that maybe only 3 of them were really brilliant. I was forced to take all of them from Stanford. We're saying, let's pick the best 3 from this place, the best 3 from this place, and bring it all together in one place. So we have the best curriculum all in one place. Right. And then finally, in terms of the students, we had 1,000 applicants for this first class of the MBA program, and we picked only 67 of them. So it's very, very selective. It's more selective than even these universities you were talking about. And so you come there, you're surrounded by exceptional people. Mm. And what makes an MBA program is also the network that you build, right? So we have in this class 8 CEOs, 8 deputy CEOs. Right. We have, founders of companies. We have, people who have really been exceptional, and they are coming here and they're developing their skills further, and you're building relationships with them. So that's the quality.
Fred Swanika, founder of ALU, and Wendy Luhabe, faculty member and social entrepreneur.